students. I am S. Mohanrangan, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Aruna Engineering College. Now we are going to discuss about the various concepts of transactions in database management systems. The transactions in database management system is having many number of objectives. We are going to see just one by one. So these are the objectives we are going to discuss during the transactions. We are going to discuss about basics of transaction concepts and the various states in transaction and concurrent executions, what is serializability, what is recoverability, and what is implementation of isolation, transaction definition in SQL, and testing for serializability. So according to the definition, a transaction is a unit of program execution that accesses and possibly updates various data items. So a transaction must see a consistent database. Whenever the transaction is getting executed, then the consistency of the database is also depending the execution of the transaction. So they are defining that a transaction must see a consistent database. So during transaction execution, the database may be temporarily inconsistent. In this case, if the transaction is started and is keep on executing, just we will assume that. So the transaction is keep on executing and is in the partially completion state. Assume that. In that case, the database and is consistent is in inconsistent state. Is also in the temporary. Okay, so during transaction execution, the database may be temporarily inconsistent. When the transaction completes successfully, the database must be consistent. Here we have to have some proper clarification that if the transaction is started and is in partially completed state, automatically the database will be in inconsistent state. It's also a temporary state. Once the transaction completed successfully, then automatically the database will be in the consistent state. After a transaction commits, the changes it has made to the database persist, even if there are system failures. What they are actually defining that once the transaction completed or not at all completed, whatever it may be, the consistency of the database must be ensured. And if any changes has been made on the database, it also to be persist. So this should be in either cases. Either the transaction may or may not be completed, but the persistence of the database should be ensured. Next, multiple transactions can execute in parallel. So in a database process, there are number of transactions may be permitted. So concurrent execution of transactions is also permitted. Here they are discussing two important issues in the transaction cases. Failures of various kinds, such as hardware failure and system crashes. Software failure as well as hardware failure, both are to be considered as a major issue. And concurrent execution of multiple transactions. If number of transactions are to be executed in concurrent manner, then there are many number of issues to be considered. We will see one by one. So once again, we are going to discuss about ACID properties of a transaction. Again, we are going to define about what is going to be a transaction. Transaction is a logical unit of work that represents real-world events of any organization or an enterprise, whereas concurrency control is the management of concurrent transaction execution. These are the basic definitions related to transaction. We cannot modify the definition of the transaction. So the transaction is having four important characteristics that is called as ACID properties. What are the properties of transaction? Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. What is meant by atomicity? Atomicity is defined as either all operations of the transaction are completed or none of the transactions have been completed. There are only two different states. That is called as binary state, which means either the transaction is completed successfully or none of the transaction has been completed. So assume that if the transaction is started or initiated and we are waiting for the completion of the transaction. Once the transaction is completed successfully, then what are the changes made by the transaction has to be properly updated onto the database. And come to the alternate way. The transaction is initiated, okay, it's still not completed, assume that. During the execution of transaction, due to some technical issues or due to some inevitable situation, if the transaction is failed, then the database must be go back to its beginning state, which means the database to be go back onto the initial stage the moment the transaction has been initiated. So this is called atomicity. So inconsistency of the database must be avoided. So atomicity is nothing but either the transaction completed successfully or none has been completed. Then come to the consistency. Execution of a transaction in isolation preserves the consistency of the database. So the isolation of each and every transaction must be ensured. That is called consistency. So if number of transactions are executed, no transaction should have interference of the another transaction. And once the transaction are completed, then the database and its consistency must be ensured. Next one, isolation. Even multiple transactions are getting executed, each and every transaction is having its own individuality. That is called isolation. No transaction depending on another transaction, no transaction getting interference by another transaction, and no more transaction will disturb any other transactions. This kind of approach is called isolation. Here they have given a small definition, that is, for every pair of transaction Ti and Tj, it appears to Ti that either Tj finished execution before Ti started or Tj started execution after Ti finished. So this is a small example. And next, durability. After a transaction completes successfully, the changes it has made to the database persist, even if there are system failures. So once the transactions are completed, then automatically the changes which has been made on the transaction or by the transaction must be updated properly into the database. That is called ensuring the persistence of the database. Even if the failures are happened in the database, then the updation of the information should not be affected. This is called durability. Some example for a transaction, and here they have given a fund transfer. Assume that transaction to transfer $50 from account A to account B. And here is a small example. We are going to read the value of A, and A is equal to A minus 50, and we are updating the value of A. I am going to read B. B equal to B plus 50. Then the changes is going to be updated by writing B. So once again we will observe the transaction and its instructions. I am reading the value of A and I am modifying the value of A. After the modification completed, the modified value of A is updated by giving the instruction called write A. On the fourth instruction, I am going to read the value of B. The value of B is updated, and the updated value, the modified value of B is updated properly by giving the instruction write B. So this is a small example for transaction. So the transaction is having a different state. It's called as transaction state. There are 5 different states are considered as a transaction state. They are called as active state, partially committed state, failed state, aborted state, and committed state. Once again, I am repeating that transaction state is having different level. The first one is active state. Second is partially committed. Third is failed. Fourth is aborted. And the fifth one is committed. What is meant by active state? The initial state. The transaction stays in the state while it is executing. Assume that the transaction is ready for execution. This state is called as active state. The transaction is verily ready to be executed, and this is known as active state. Second one, partially committed. So the next stage of the active state, the transaction is in active state and is started to process, which means the transaction has been initiated. After the active state, the transaction has been initiated. Now the transaction is in running state. It is neither completed, it is not nor in the active state, it is on the partially committed. So this is called as partially committed after the final statement has been executed. And next one, failed state, which means the transaction has been initiated from the active state. The next stage of the active state, the transaction has been initiated, but due to some technical issues, the transaction may be failed for further continuation. This state is called what? Failed state. The moment is converted from active to initial stage, initiated state, then the transaction may be failed. And next one, aborted. The transaction has been initiated from the active state, is keep on running, and we are observing that some of the mistakes has been taken. So I want to terminate the transaction. So the user is forcefully terminating the transaction. Just understand that the transaction not getting failed. Due to some mistakes, the transaction has to be terminated. So the user manually terminating the process of the transaction. This is called aborted. Once the transaction has been aborted, then the partial completion of the changes made by the transaction has to be rolled back. And there are two approaches are taken. Restart the transaction can be done only if no internal logical error. The second is kill the transaction, forcefully killing the transaction. There are two options are there in case of aborted. And next one, committed. Once the transactions are completed successfully, then we can say that the transaction is completed and we are committing the transaction, which means the changes made by the transaction are permanently updated onto the database. So there are 5 different states in case of transaction: active state, the beginning state, partially committed. So is the transaction is progress, and failed state, the transaction is failed, then aborted state and the committed state. This is the transaction state diagram. Once the transaction is in active state, either it may go on to the partial committed or it may become a failed state. If there is any technical or systematical error, then the active transaction may become onto the failed state. But there is no issues, the transaction is successfully initiated, then it may go on to the partially committed. So even on the partially committed state, the transaction may get failed. The transaction may get failed. So it also may come on to the failed state. Or in some other cases, partially committed and still is continuing and successfully committed. Once the transaction is successfully committed or completed, then all the informations will be updated. In alternate case, from active state to failed or from active state to aborted. So these are called as state of the transaction. And implementation of atomicity and durability. So these are the additional process. During the execution of the transaction, I have to ensure the atomicity and the durability of the transaction. So once the transactions are initiated successfully, then I have to ensure the atomicity. So I have to ensure that the transaction has been completed successfully. If any failures are appeared or happened, then immediately I have to roll back all the changes made by the transaction. But if the transaction completed successfully, then I have to ensure the durability. The changes made by the transaction has been permanently updated onto the database. That is called implementation of atomicity and durability. So these are the cases. Some of the database pointer are there from the old copy of the database. The transactions are doing some modifications. Once the modifications are completed successfully, then the database pointer is going to focus onto the new copy of the database. The old copy will be deleted, which means the old copy is initially maintained till the transaction completed successfully. Once the transaction completed, all the changes made onto the new copy of the database and all the persistence and the consistency of the database are verified. Once everything is verified successfully, then the old copy of the database will be dropped and the new copy of the database will be updated. So this is the implementation of atomicity and durability. Now we are going to focus about concurrent execution. Multiple transactions are allowed to run concurrently in the system. Increased processor and disk utilization, reduce the average response time are the major advantages in case of concurrent execution. Because if I am going to execute each and every instruction or transaction in sequential manner, then it may take long number of timings and it may lead to some starvation issues. If I am going to execute the instructions or transaction in concurrent manner, then the advantages are increased processor and disk utilization as well as reduce the average response time. Concurrency control schemes. Mechanisms to achieve isolation, that is, to control the interaction among the concurrent transaction in order to prevent them from destroying the consistency of the database. Schedules. A sequence of instructions that specify the chronological order in which instructions of concurrent transactions are executed. So assume that many number of instructions are there in a transaction and each and every instruction to be executed in some chronological order. Which instruction to be executed first and which instruction has to be executed next. We have to arrange it. That is called the chronological order. A schedule for a set of transactions must consist of all instructions of those transactions. Must preserve the order in which the instructions appear in each individual transaction. So the next point is a transaction that successfully completes its execution will have a commit instructions as the last statement, which means nothing that the transaction is completed successfully. Once the transactions are completed, then we have to execute a commit command. Then only the changes made by the transaction will be updated permanently onto the database. So that the execution of commit instruction is very important. In alternate case, a transaction that fails to successfully complete its execution will have an abort instructions as the last statement. If I am doing the abort, then all the changes made by the transaction has to be rolled back. That is called abort. Assume the schedule 1. So according to this given example, there are two transactions has to be executed in serial manner or in sequence manner. Assume that transaction 1 and transaction 2. In transaction 1, I am going to read a variable A as a first instruction, making some modification in the variable A Once the modifications or changes completed, updating the changes of variable A onto the database. And I am continuing to read value of variable B, doing some modification on that variable B. After that, the modified value of B is updated by giving the right instruction. So transaction 1 is completed, is all the processes. Come to the transaction 2. Here also I am going to read the value of A and doing some computation process by calculating temporary value, so value of the temporary variable, and I am updating the value of A. After that, the changes of variable A is updated properly. Similar in case of the B. I am reading the value of B, doing some modifications. All the modified information of variable B have been updated by giving the instruction write B. So in schedule 1, 2 transactions are executed in serial manner. Transaction 1 is completed, transaction 2 is followed by transaction 1. In schedule 2, the sequence is just swapped. T1 is followed by T2. T2 is executed first and T1 is executed next. Come to the schedule 3. This is called concurrent. Here, part of the transaction 1 is completed first, then the part of the transaction 2 is executed next. After that, again, the remaining part of the transaction 1 is getting executed. After that, the remaining part of the transaction 2 is also getting executed. Here, what they are doing, they are going to add the value of A and B after the completion of both the transactions. If this value is very similar to the schedule 1, then is called as equivalent. So the following schedule is not a serial schedule, but it is equivalent to schedule 1. So the schedule 1 is executed in serial manner. T1 is executed first, T2 is executed next. In schedule 3, part of the T1 is completed first and part of T2 is completed next. Again, the remaining part of the T1 is executed, and after that, the remaining part of the T2 is executed. Transaction 2 is executed. Once the process are completed, I am going to add the value of A and B. So the sum value of A and B is equivalent to the schedule 1, then they are called as equivalent schedule. And assume that schedule 4, just to focus. So here part of the transaction 1 is executed, and before the completion of transaction 1, T2 is also started. Before the completion of transaction 2, again transaction 1 is continued. So after the completion of transaction 1, T2 is also completed. Once the transactions are completed, again I am trying to add the value of A and B. But if I am obtaining different value according to schedule 1, then this schedule cannot be called as a equivalent one. So there are some conflict or happened, and so in case of concurrent execution, we have to focus about this kind of conflict. Even though the serial execution of transaction can be converted into concurrent execution of the transactions, if you are not applying the proper concurrent execution, then it may lead to inconsistency of the database. According to the given example, schedule 1 and schedule 3 are called as equivalent, because after the completion of each and every schedule of transactions, the value of A plus B will become similar. So the schedule 1 can be concurrently executed as per the schedule 3. There is no issues. But the schedule 4 is having different part of execution as a concurrent execution. Once the schedule 4 is completed, the value of A plus B is not equivalent to the schedule 1. So the inconsistency of the database is raised. How to solve this? Here the concept of serializability has to be observed. We will see about the serializability in our next session.
Dear students, so far we have discussed about various objectives in transactions in database management systems. Still we have some more concept has to be discussed. The next concept we are going to discuss about serializability. I hope that again I will meet you on the next session to discuss about the serializability. Thank you.